Hey, Family Church, thank you so much for hanging in there with these small groups and to the end of this study. And I hope that you've really gotten a lot out of the small group study, especially the discussion part. I think the discussion part is where the real learning takes place. So I hope you've gotten a lot out of that. And today we want to wrap up the discussion on the family with the idea of creating a set of family values. At the Family Values event at the end of our campaign on Sunday, March 5th, you're going to have an opportunity to create something that is that displays your family values, something you can put on display in your home and help your family remember what is important to you. But today, in our small group study, I really just want to talk to you about why it is important to have a set of specific family values and how you decide what is important to you. You know, and there's a lot of reasons why you should have a set of family values. You know, I love Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A, not just because they make a mean chicken sandwich. I love Chick-fil-A because they're really an amazing organization. I love that they're Christian owned. I love that they're closed on Sunday. I love that the kids that work at Chick-fil-A say my pleasure. You know, I love that stuff. But their customer service is legendary because they have a set of values that they hold their employees to. And surprisingly, their values have nothing to do with chicken. You know, here are their values. There are 4 of them. They say smile, eye contact, speak with a friendly tone, always say my pleasure. That's their values. That's why they're famous for their customer service. You know, and if the next time you go into another fast food place, if you remember those 4 things while you're making your order, you're going to see why their customer service is way off the charts compared to everybody else. And that's why they're the amazing organization that they are, because they have a set of values. Now, a set of values specific to your home can be the driving force for your family, focusing everyone on what is most important to you. Okay? So it's important that you take the time to create these family values, and there's some things to really keep in mind as you start thinking about these and start creating some specific family values. First, think about what is important to God when it comes to your family. What's important to God? You know, God has a very specific plan and purpose for families. You know, God told parents, raise kids according to His Word in Ephesians 6 verse 4. He told parents how and when to teach your kids about the Bible in Deuteronomy chapter 6. These things are important to God. If these principles are valued by God, then they're worth considering to include in your set of family values. Also, think about what's already important to your family. You may have some things that are valuable to you, or that you value, that you've not listed as one of your family values. You know, for instance, your family may be really into sports, you know, and that's awesome, but it's not that sports is a value. You are involved in sports because you want your kids to be healthy and you want them to be active. So being healthy and active, those are values. Those can be something that are important to your family. You can include those in your values. But think about what your family is already involved in. What do they already value when it comes to family? Make your family values agreeable. All right. If mom and dad decide what the family values are, then the kids, you know, they might just look at it as, well, that's one more thing mom and dad are telling us to do. But get the kids involved in determining what your family values. Let them help in how you phrase it. You know, come up with ideas on how you say and list the values. Let them help you come up with ways to display it in your home. So make it agreeable. Make sure everybody's involved in that process. Everybody will buy into it more if everybody's involved. Next, make it memorable. Okay, you know, if you just have a long list of things that are important to you, it's going to be less memorable than if you have a short list of things phrased in a way that is easy, especially for little kids to memorize it. You know, you might find 4 or 5 things that all starts with the same letter. Or maybe you make an acrostic out of your family name or out of the word family, but do something to help it so that your kids can remember what it is. Make your family values memorable. And then finally, make it visible, okay? put it up somewhere in your home. We're going to have an opportunity to do that at the Family Values event on March 5th. But make something that you can post in your home that will or display in your home that it will help your kids to remember what those family values are, and they're always there for you all to look at. And here's the thing: when it comes to establishing family values, it's just like with everything else. If you don't establish them, somebody else will. Somebody else is going to establish what's important to your family. And so, like, if you don't decide as a family, this is what's important to us, really the first thing that is going to determine your family values are the immaturity and the impulsiveness of your kids. That's what's going to determine what's important in your family, because they're going to be the first ones to say, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And if you haven't already decided this is what's important to us, these things are not. Your kids' immaturity and impulsiveness could actually determine what is most important to your family, at least from your kids' perspective. So take the time to establish a set of family values for your family. Again, I hope this has been an awesome time for your group, and that you've made friends. I think that's an important part of this, that you make new friends. If this group was already together, you can just continue, pick up your next study, or just get the word out and study it. Stay together and continue these meetings. If this is a new group, it doesn't have to end here. You can continue this group. We'll help you get started. You just let me know that you want your group to continue, and we'll give you the resources that you need to keep it going, because there's a lot of things to think about if you've never led a group like this, or if you're brand new to a group. Consider, if you join just for the 40 Days of Family, consider staying with the group and continuing, because this is a very healthy thing. Real life change happens in the context of these kind of relationships. So consider the next step for this group and what you're going to do in the future. So thanks again for being a part of this. Now get your Bibles, get your study guides, and on this last study about family values, have an awesome, fun time going through the questions.